next speaker is an influencer and content creator turned entrepreneur. He has been the youngest Indian to speak at United Nations headquarters, Vienna, on entrepreneurship. He has successfully delivered 200 plus speeches in 26 countries. He currently has about 1.5 million followers across all his social media platforms, and his podcast, Figuring Out, got listed as one of the top 10 business podcasts in India by iTunes. Please welcome Raj Shamani.
Thank you so much, Sid, for introducing me and for having me here. Every time Sid Kanan introduces me, I get really excited. This is like, I think, the fourth time we're meeting now, and he introduced me like this. So thank you so much for having me here. Let's dive into the deep Q&A round. I would try to switch this thing because I was an entrepreneur first, and then I became an influencer, and then I again am becoming an entrepreneur. So it has been not the other way around. It's like I was the entrepreneur first. Like when I started when I at the age of 16, I was still in my school, and I wanted to do something remarkable. I remember I spoke to my teacher. I think I was in 11th standard end or 12th standard starting, and I went to my business studies teacher and I asked her that, you know what, I want to become financial trader because I saw Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. That's a movie, and I was really inspired by Hrithik Roshan's the character there. So I went up to my teacher and asked her that, hey, how can I become this? And she gave me like a huge guidelines and good step by step process. And I was like, oh my God, this is so difficult for me to do it. How can I become something like this? But after that, what happened is she told me that you don't have to become someone on day one. All you have to do is whatever interests you, you just need to start reading about it. And as you start enjoying after reading about it, you will know the steps you have to take. And then eventually one day you'll become that person who you want to become. And that stuck with me. So I started reading about financial trading. I started reading about business. And from there on, I started finding out people and role models in my life. And then I got stuck with Richard Branson and Gary Vaynerchuk. Those people inspired me to start my business. Once I started my business, I realized that the reason why Richard Branson and Gary Vaynerchuk are really famous and really big in the world is because of their personal brands. So then my journey of creating content started because I wanted to become someone like them. So I started creating content. I started sharing everything which I was doing in my entrepreneurial journey. I started sharing with my audience every day, whether I was failing, whether I was succeeding, what were the books I was reading, what are the things which I can use in my life, what are the things which I started doing after getting inspired by people from American culture, what I started doing after listening to Indian entrepreneurs. All these things I started sharing. And over the time, I didn't realize that just because I was sharing this thing for a year and a half, I garnered from 0 followers to 50,000 followers. So my journey was just like this. So it was an accidental influencer thing which happened with me. And then once I started understanding the power of having a following on social media, having the tag of becoming an influencer, that's when the responsibility started to stuck me. And I was like, now with that 50,000 people who are following me, I need to do something which can help them grow in their lives. Because just by reading and learning about something for a year, it took me from nobody to someone who's getting followed or looked up by 50,000 people. Now, what can I teach those 50,000 people so that it inspires them as well? And that was a question I asked myself. And that's when my series Figuring Out started. So it just happened like that. And figuring out, I still continue to do it. The key of the figuring out the message of my content, the podcast which I make, everything which I do remains the same. It's I am this young person who's trying to achieve big dreams by doing what he loves. I would say more than consistency, I want everybody to understand this concept called moat. Do you know moat क्या होता है? So moat is, have you seen those big castles of like, old kingdoms and kings? They used to have like huge castles, and around those castles there used to be a water body. एक नदी या एक ऐसा लेक जैसा होता था. There was like big castle in the middle, and there was a huge water body, and the gate would open like this, so people can come in, and the gate would again close. So when the gate closed, first you have to cross the water body, and then you can only reach the castle. That water body is called moat. So earlier, kings used to have those around their castles, and that is called moat. That somebody who is an outsider should not be able to attack the castle directly. There has to be some trouble. There has to be something which should be saved, which should safeguard the castle, and that used to be the moat. This every person in their life should have if they want to become unbeatable. You should have your mode, that why and how people can't beat you. What is that one thing about you which people can't copy and beat you in your own game? Whether it's content creation, whether it's business, whether it's education, whether it's doing a degree, what is that? What is that one thing where nobody can beat you? What is that one mode you have? So the concept of moat was interesting to me. And for some people, moat is education. Like some people have PhD degrees, some people have masters from really good society, good colleges and communities. Some people have their degrees from IITs, IIMs, Harvard, Stanford. So this become the moat for them. Like nobody can beat someone who has been studying in certain schools, certain colleges, certain have become certain alumni, or have a specific knowledge about specific subject, who's become an expert. But what about the other people whose education is not the moat? What can they do? They can find their leverage by becoming an expert in one thing. So I used to ask myself, Raj, what are you expert in? What can you do? And that's when the thought became that my my moat is going to be consistency. Maybe I'm not the best in studies. Maybe I don't have the fanciest degrees. Maybe I don't have the best of the knowledge about specific things. But I can create videos on everyday basis. So if somebody who is a close competition to me is making, let's say, 10 videos a month, I'm going to make 30 videos a month. If somebody is making 30, I'm going to make 60 videos a month. So that's where my consistency became my moat. And if you have your moat right, you can lead anything in the world, and you can become a really good person. You can be successful, whether it's content creation, whether it's life, whether it's education. So I wouldn't say that consistency is the key. I would say finding that moat which really helps you and becomes your strength in the long time, which other people find it very difficult to copy, is can be your particular strength. It's just not consistency, it can be anything. Now I have a brief understanding of how you can balance your studies, your learnings, your work with your passion and hobbies. Because I read a lot. I feel I study more right now, in like today. Every day I study more than I used to study in my school. It's very funny, but this is the truth. I read a book, like I finish a book in a week. It's a 500-page book. I'll finish it in a week. And I used to not read a book in 3 months in my school. So I study more right now. But how do I balance it? You have to understand 8 hours, you have 24 hours in life. 8 hours is sleep, then 8 hours is school, like 6 hours school, 1 hour going, 1 hour coming back. Those are 16 hours gone. Now you're left with 8 hours. 2 hours from them is gonna be you eating lunch, dinner, talking to people, hi, bye, bathing, all of that. Now you're left with 6 hours. Now in these 6 hours, you'll do homework. Those gonna be 2 hours again. Now you're left with 4 hours. What do you do in these 4 hours will define a lot and will dictate a lot of how you gonna be, or how successful you're gonna be in terms of your passion and hobbies. So I feel the 4 hours which you have extra, you should spend it by doing something you love. You should not give it to studies. You should not give it to sports. You should not give it to your family, friends, whoever. You should give it to something that you love. If you love studying, do it. If you love playing sports, you love do it. If you love just singing, do it. Even if you're not good at it. If you love creating content, do it. Whatever you love doing. If you just love reading about cars from magazines or from internet or watching YouTube videos, do it. Because whatever you love doing, you should give 4 hours there. So this is how I would balance, and this is how every kid should balance their studies and their work and everything. Out of 24 hours, you should have 4 hours just dedicated to your hobbies and passions. Because what happens when you start doing something that you love, your left brain and right brain both get activated. So one side of the brain is for training, one side which trains you, which makes you a better person, and the other side is for creativity. Like how creative can you be? And in the world, people who are the most creative are respected the most and are the highly paid or the highest paid people. So you need to develop both sides of the brain. That's why you need to start doing something you love that can make you creative and logical and train you at the same time. So that is why it's really important. I wish every parent should understand this and every kid should understand this as well. I feel social media is not a distraction. I feel social media is an opportunity. Social media is something which has gotten a space in our life in such a way that there's no life without it. So when there's no life without it, why are people stopping their kids to not use social media? I think what should be promoted is right use of social media, not see it as a distraction. Because at the end of the day, you wake up, the first thing you see is your phone. You go to bed, the last thing you see is your phone. During the day, you do your networking through it, you do your work through it, you learn through it, you're entertained through it, you stay connected through it. So no matter what you do as a human being, your phone and social media has become a part of it. So why are you calling it as distraction? In fact, you should be promoting it as an opportunity, because if you make your kids understand how social media works and how they can use it for their maximum strength, it can give your kid an extra edge in the world where his or her chances are more to get successful than any other thing. That is what I believe in. I would say blue tick and number of followers are it's just society's way of now shifting focus on something which was offline before, now is online. So it's not that status symbol, like blue tick is whether status symbol or no. We have been seeing status symbols since the beginning of the time. Earlier we used to we used to value something offline. Now we value something that is online, because as humans, we I would say we value positional goods. What positional good means? Something which you have and others don't have. Even though you know that this particular thing doesn't mean anything to you, but just because you have it, you feel good because not everybody can have it. That is a positional good. And because you have it and not everybody else have it, you start boasting about it, you feeling good about it, then everybody also wants it. It used to happen with fancy cars, then it started happening with luxury branded clothes, and then it started happening with bigger houses and bigger houses, and then now it's happening with blue ticks and number of followers in social media. So status symbol is a reflection of society, not a reflection of social media. It's all on kids and parents. What are we teaching our kids to value? Is the conversation in our house is about how big house we're going to take, the next big house, the next house we're going to take is going to be bigger and fancier? Is the conversation in the family about the next car we're going to take is going to be even bigger and even going to be of a luxurious brand? Or is it about skills? Is it about honesty? Is it about empathy? Is it about kindness? Is it about learning new things and being able to do something which can impact the society? What is it about? The conversation you're having in your family is going to reflect whether your kid is going to believe that social status means blue tick a number of followers, or social status means giving out your message to the world so that you can change the world for good. So you need to ask yourself this question: what do you value more? And I feel something which is just a tick on your account, you should not give it much value because it doesn't hold any value. It's only a positional good. Because few people have it, you fancy it. It just because few people have it doesn't mean it's good. So you should start thinking about values. You should start thinking about how you can bring change. You should start thinking about how you can solve problems. You should think about how you can use this particular platform and impact the maximum number of lives, not garner maximum number of followers. Yes, I do. It's very sad that most of the people on social media are trying to live or show something which they're not. It's very sad, but at the end of the day, you have to realize people who make it really big, people who reach a certain stature, or people who reach millions of followers, they are the ones who are showing the reality. They are not the ones who are showing a fake life, because you can't make it really big by showing a dual life or something that you don't believe in. This is what I say very often. If if you're showing fancy cars and trying to get people to follow you because you have fancy cars, your people are following you for your car, not for you. And at the end of the day, one day the car will get old. One day you'll eventually run out of money. One day you'll eventually run out of showing off about the car. And then what will you do then? People will stop following you. So what you should do is you should stop thinking about what fancy you can show or how fancy you can look, and you should start showing about who you are. The most followed people in the world, the most followed people are content creators who are podcasters, live streamers, and vloggers. So podcasters are really transparent with the conversations they have. Live streamers show their real personality by playing games for hours in front of the screen, and vloggers show their every side of life. So people who show the real side of them, they eventually become really big in life. People who try to curate content in a certain way are the ones who are not able to scale it in life. So you have to ask yourself this question: do you want to become really big, or do you want to become something who is getting valued for wrong reasons? That's why I believe that if you ask this question to yourself, I'm sure most of the people would answer that you want to become really big in the world and you want to have an impact in the world. And if you want to have that, living a life which you are trying to show off and which you are not, never pays off. Because one day you're gonna get exposed. One day people will know you. One day people will get to know who you are, what you do, and what have you done in your life. So always remember that. I'll give you a story. When I was in ninth standard, I told my friends that I went to Dubai for summer vacation. I told them that beaches were lit. The buildings were filled with skyscrapers. It was so good. You have no idea how how much I was enjoying this summer. And everybody started getting impressed by me. Everybody wanted to know और क्या हुआ Dubai में, what happened in Dubai. We also want to know, because I was the first person to go to Dubai in my class. And one day, my classmates met my cousins. So my classmates said and asked my cousins like, "Hey, Raj went to Dubai. Why didn't you guys go?" And my cousin said, "Dubai? Ask Raj. Does he even have a passport?" And that day, my lie got caught. So the next morning, when I walked in my school, everybody looked at me and be like, "Hey, Dubai ja rahe, Dubai ja rahe, Dubai ja rahe." And I became the joke in the entire school. And that was the worst year of my school life, because I became joke in front of my seniors, in front of my classmates, and in front of my juniors. In fact, people stopped calling me from the name of Raj. People started calling me Dubai. So when you try to live dual life just to impress people, in the short run, it looks like, oh, everybody's looking at you, everybody's impressed, everybody wants to know you. But in the end, when your lie gets caught, you're in for the trouble and you don't want that. So that's why stop living dual lives to impress people on social media. Mental health is getting affected by the way they've been brought up and the friend circle they have, the parenting they have, and the teachers they have. It's not just social media. Why I believe so? If somebody is, if your kid is get, if you're comparing, let's say, I'll give better example. Is if the kids are getting compared by other kids, they're always gonna feel that they are not good enough. If you're telling your kid that, oh, look at this person, he comes first, you need to do that. Look at this person, he's very good, like he's a good athlete, he's a sports person, become that. Then you're comparing your kids. And once you do that, your kids start feeling that I'm not good enough. And just because I'm not good enough, once that I'm not good enough feeling kicks in, your kids start feeling insecure in their own body with their own skills. Once they start feeling insecure, what they want, whatever they want in their life, they don't go for it. And other people go for what they want. So when they see others getting what they were supposed to get, but because of lack of confidence, they couldn't do that, they start getting jealous of them. And that's what is happening on social media. So social media, people are getting jealous, people are feeling insecure, and that all is stressing them out, is making them more depressed about themselves, because they feel, because they're not good enough, they're not pretty enough, they're not hot enough, they're not rich enough, they're not intelligent enough. They're just keeping asking these questions instead of asking themselves that, how can I reach the position which this guy has reached? What has he done? What has she done? What can I do? How, at this age, what he or she was doing? If, as a parent, you can fill that in your kids, the social media is only going to have good effects, not the bad effects. It only affects mental health when you allow your kids to feel compared, when you allow your kids to feel like we feel that they are not good enough, when you allow themselves to feel that they are not they are not capable of achieving certain things in life. If you fill these things in them, social media is just going to exponentially enlarge this feeling which they have in themselves. But if you make them feel really good about themselves, social media is only going to empower them to learn more about themselves and the things which they're interested in, and it's going to keep them sane rather than make them, or rather than make their mental health worse. That is what I feel. The number one thing you can do to let go your pressures, whether it's about social media or any other thing, is start working on yourself. And when you work on yourself, do one thing which you enjoy more. Stop caring about what other people are thinking. Stop caring about how many likes you're getting. Stop caring about who feels you're good or bad. Start doing what you enjoy the most and just work on yourself. Just work on yourself. If you feel that the video which you made right now is the best video, upload it. Stop caring about it. And then once you upload it, you feel like I need to work more on it. If you feel like this was the best, keep doing the same thing again and again and again until you feel there's a need for improvement. So start working on yourself. The more you work on yourself, the better you're going to get. The better you get, the better it will be to handle pressures of social media, and eventually you'll stop thinking about pressure of social media at all. Number one, if you ever feel that people are trolling you or you're getting hatred, it's not you, it's them. They are going through such a wrong phase in their life that they're just so sad about not getting attention that they are trying to harm you to get attention. And that is why it's so sad. So you should in fact feel kind towards those people, because they are really distracted in their life and they're lonely. Help them give attention, help them grow, and they're going to be better friends with you. and stop thinking of it as something which is an attack on you. It's an attack on them, and that's a reflection that they're showing on your profile. That's why they're trolling. That is number one. Number two, the social media etiquette for everyone which you have. Only say when you have something optimistic, constructive, or something which can help someone grow. That's it. If it's not optimistic, if it's not constructive, it is not appreciative, then don't say anything on social media. That is what I believe. If this is the model you should follow, if you feel there's an urge to comment somewhere, if you feel there's an urge to put out content and record a video out there, ask yourself this question: is it constructive? Am I constructively helping someone? Is it helping myself? Is it giving someone constructive feedback which is going to help them grow in their life? What is it? Is it constructive? If yes, then post it. Ask yourself, is it optimistic? Is it giving someone hope? Is it giving someone love? Is it giving someone empathy? Is it giving someone kindness? If it's optimistic, if the answer is yes, then post it. Then ask yourself, is it appreciative? Is it something which is validating someone else's hard work and effort? Is it something which is going to make someone's day? Is it a compliment which people are going to enjoy? If the answer to that is yes, then do it. So the only etiquette I follow on social media is every time before I upload a video, I say anything or I comment somewhere on someone's profile or I share something, I ask myself, is it constructive or optimistic or appreciative? If the answer to any one of them is yes, then I go ahead and post it. That is a model you should also follow. The objective of community is get like-minded people together so that you can all help each other to achieve a common goal. And that, I would say, should be the fundamentals for every creator to grow and do their work. Again, a community of creators should try to create should try to create their audience which is supportive, that everybody's coming together, they're trying to work on certain things. I work on financial freedom. I want every kid to understand their strengths and weaknesses, understand what they're good at, and then start working on that to make their own money and live a comfortable life. That is what I believe in. So I'm figuring out how every kid can become financially free. How can you achieve financial freedom? That is what I believe in. Now, the community which I'm trying to create, and that is what every person should also do, you should get everybody who believe that people should be financially free and not get loans and not get into financial troubles. That is one. You should get everyone who believes that you should make money by doing what you love. When you get all of these people together, now you all should work beyond just one person. You should work that how the entire country can become financially free. If all of them are working towards a common goal and then helping each other to contribute to that goal, supporting each other, not judging each other at all, I think a creator's job is done. Because a community which can run without a creator on the same principles why it got started, I think that's the community which everybody should look forward to. That is a community which is going to have an impact in the world. Because, and as a creator, if you have power to influence people to come together, you should use it as a responsibility and do it to impact the world in a better way. That is what you should do as a kid as well, and you should do as an adult, you should do as a parent, you should do as a creator, you should do as an individual who wants to bring change in the world. Every individual should think about building their community. I have this thing for you, everyone who's watching this right now. Think about, what is that one thing you really care about? Is it Pokemon? Is it Beyblade? Is it maths? Is it entrepreneurship? Is it becoming a content creator? Is it video editing? Is it watching Bollywood movies? What is that one thing which you really love? Think about that. Write that down on a piece of paper. Then tell your friends that you want to promote this particular idea and want to build a community where everybody who think like that and who loves Bollywood, or who loves Pokemon, who loves maths, who loves entrepreneurship, who should come together and start talking about it. That is how you start building a community. There are three things which I do. Number one, in my vlogs, I promote new artists' music. I feel people who are just starting out, they don't have enough followers, they don't have enough reach so that their music can reach out to multiple people. So I ask new artists to send me their music, and I talk about their music and put their music in my vlog so that multiple people can listen to their music and they get the maximum reach. That is one thing which I do. Second is I invest in young ideas. I put my money in small ideas. So whatever money I make through content creation, I put that money in small startups, in the startups which are just getting started, in the things that is getting, which are just getting ready, and it's an idea which can change the world. So I put my money and support them so that they can get the initial set of money to build their product and go out there in the world and start creating an impact. So I help people market their songs. I give people money for for their startup idea so that they don't struggle more in the build initial years of their life. And third thing which I do is I run this thing called Spotlight. Once in a while, I go live with my friends, with my audience on Instagram, on YouTube, here and there. And whoever is running a small business or has some talent, I get them on my show and ask them to talk about their product, their artistic service, like their music, their art, whatever they're passionate about. They come, they talk about it, and thousands of people can watch them live then and there. So these are the three things I do to create this positive impact through my work. I have to be a daily reminder to people. So number one do is, am I helping people who are exactly like me? Yes or no? So I ask myself this question. So I create content which can help on daily basis to people. That is a number one do. Number two do is, how can I reach more people? So what I follow is reach out to one person a day every day. So through social media, I reach out to a new person every day and try to talk to them. That's a do which I follow in my life. Number three is I post on a certain time. I post every day around from 6 to 8. If you post it on the same time, people anticipate that you're going to do it. People know that you're going to put it out, so they wait for it. I post my podcast once a week on every Friday. I post my YouTube video once a week, so people know when it's going to come out. People are waiting for it. They know the time, they know the context, and they're ready to wait for it. That's a big do. Then I always make sure to look at my insights. I look at who are the people who are following me. Are they girls or boys? Are they uh, are they under the age of 18? Are they from 18 to 24? Are they from 35? What is the age bracket they fall into? So I look at them. What are the cities they're coming from? So I look at those insights and then try to make my content according to them. So people, let's say people from Mumbai who are 13 to 18, they follow the most. I try to create content according to that. So that is what also I look. That's another do of social media. One more do would be I focus on content more than the quality. Most of the people don't put out content because they feel, oh, I don't have the best camera. I don't have the best editing skills. I don't have the best cameraman. I don't know what to do. Doesn't matter. I focus more on the content storytelling or the message quality than the production quality. So you should also do that. That's a do, again, another do. Now, don'ts of social media. Don'ts would be I don't spread hatred. I would put one more do. One more do is I try to connect and talk to as many people as I can. So everybody who comments on my videos, on my posts, I try to comment back and try to connect with them. That is one more thing which everybody should do. Now, don't is I don't try to I don't try to spread hatred. I don't talk about something which I don't know. So I'll only talk about things I know. Don't try to pretend that I'm some expert. I don't try to pretend that, oh, I know this. I don't try to look cool on certain things. I do who I am. There are so many opportunities. I feel everybody in 10 or maybe 20 years from now will become a creator. Everybody. Because people need to understand that people trust people. So if you want to become someone really big in life, you want a lot of people to trust you for your thing. And how can people trust you? When you become an authority. And how do you become an authority? By putting out right content, truthful and honest content about that one specific thing which you care about. If you want to become doctor, talk about how you're learning things, what you're doing and what you're not doing. If you want to become an entrepreneur, a business person, talk about what are the things that you're interested are, what are you, what are the books that you're reading, who are the entrepreneurs you're following, what are you trying to do, how you're trying to cope entrepreneurial spirit with your studies, what are you doing. Talk about all these things. And the opportunities are insane, because if you can build your story in front of the world, you can do anything. I used to say that we have heard as we were kids, right? That अगर पैसा हो तो कुछ भी हो सकता है. Like if you have a lot of money, then you can do anything. I feel in today's world, it's wrong. I feel in today's world, if you have the audience, then you can do anything. So that's the biggest opportunity in the social media. I mean, just imagine you can sit at your home in front of your laptop, tell about your story, and make millions of dollars through that. All you have to do is just sit in front of your phone at one place. Just by sitting at one place, you can make millions of dollars. You can you can live a dream life. You can talk about your message. You can do what you love doing. You can become who you want to become just by sitting at one place. So this is the biggest opportunity out there. If you're not using it, I would say, I don't think that this is the kind of opportunity which is ever going to come back again. So use social media and use it to tell your message out there, and use it responsibility so that you create a great impact in the world and make this world a better place than it used to be. That's how I would say. In conclusion, I want to add up that I'm so pleased to be part of this Extra Marks Weekender, a great initiative bringing parents, students, and educators together on the same platform for some excellent knowledge sharing and, most importantly, a lot of fun. Just open your eyes to the fact that learning can also be so much fun. Learning doesn't have to be boring. If you understand and fall in love with learning, there's never going back. It's a lifelong process, and you need to start learning this, and you need to start having fun, and it can be this much fun. Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you, Extra Marks, for organizing this fun thing.